All right, I want to help you save so much stress in your communication with your web people. Before working in the web agency that I have, I was a recruiter, and I've worked in direct sales for 20 years, and I've hired and fired thousands of people in my career. I've obviously worked with lots of different people from different industries, and more recently in the last 6 years working with tech people. I am not a tech person at all. Like, just ask my kids. Like, I don't even know how to program my cell phone. Like, I am so low tech, it's ridiculous. Like, I've had the same computer for 8 years. I don't know how to do anything technical. It's ridiculous. And I run this tech team. But the one thing that I've learned is that I've learned how to communicate with tech people so they can do their job, and we work together fantastic. It's just, so this is a video for you. If you are not a tech person, how to communicate with tech people in a way where you don't feel overwhelmed and confused. Because like I said, I've run a tech crew for 6 years, and you do not have to be a technical person to have this be successful. So the number one thing that you got to remember is there's two different people. If you have your designers who are your right brain thinkers, and then your developers who are your left brain thinkers. Developers in QA think in terms of logic, in terms of sequence. Right brain people think in terms of ideas and creativity and vision. So there's two different people that you're going to be working with, or two different personality types, let's say, that you're going to be talking to. So when working with a designer, this is, if you're keeping in mind that this person is very creative, they're going to be looking for ideas and feedback and things like that. And the thing with working with designers as well, as I mentioned in another video, is clarity is key as well. So when you're talking to a designer and you say, I don't like the orange, make sure that you provide some direction. Okay, I don't like the orange, but could we try the red instead? For example. And a designer is going to run with it. They're going to be like, fantastic, and they're going to create ideas and they're going to put it together, and they're way more innovative in the sense of, let's create something beautiful. But still, clarity is key. Okay, but that's working with a designer. It's way more fun, way more open-ended, let's say. But when you go down to working with a developer, this is sometimes where I see clients who work with developers, things go off the rails and they start getting very stressed out. And when you're working in an agency where you have a project manager, someone like me, that can help a lot because I can speak both languages. Like, I know what my team needs from me. I understand what they're doing. I don't know how to do it, but I understand what process and what they're doing, what they're asking me for, and I can talk the tech with them. However, I can also kind of be bilingual in the sense of talking to my client who is no tech, and I know what they're asking, and I translate that into what the developer is asking. So having a project manager is also very helpful to kind of reduce communication problems. But if you are working direct to a developer, let's say that you hire a developer, the key to working with developers is literal communication. I love this about working with developers. Like, you give a literal direction and you get it done. Like, unlike working with a designer, when you're working with a developer, from my experience, the best way to optimize results is to give them exactly what you want done. Developers are not going to take creative license. They're not going to innovate solutions. They're not going to just come up with creative ideas to solve your problem. You say, I want this, and they do it. They will do it literally, like, perfectly the way you want it done. But that's the way their brain works. It's left brain, it's forward, it's steps, it's analytical. If you say, let's say you have six boxes of something over your website, and you're like, I want these boxes to be blue, and I want these boxes to be red. They're going to be blue and they're going to be red. And let's say that they look terrible, blue and red. They're going to leave it blue and red. Wherein a designer would be like, you know what? No, blue and red is not going to work. That's going to look funny. And they're going to kind of talk you through it. A developer is not going to do that. They're going to be like blue and red, blue and red. And sometimes clients get frustrated because they think a developer is like, that doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. Or that, and it was your idea. It was your client idea, but you're upset because they did it, they followed through, but it's not what you want. That's not how you work with a developer. So I hope this is making sense, but with a developer, it's like being like a sniper. Bah. Like, you give them a thing and you put them on it and you send it to them in batches. When working with developers, do not bury them in ideas. Send blocks of batches of tasks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then do not wreck that flow. So let's just say they're working through a list. Let them work through the list. Do not interfere. Do not throw things in. Do not rearrange if at all possible. Let them work through it. Do not say interject, oh, you know what, by the way, we forgot to do this, and put in another item, because that's going to just wreck the flow. Let them get through it and then plan for the next batch. Sequence the work. And you're going to find it's going to go great. It's so much more efficient if you let them just work that line. Work the line all the way down and then bring in a next batch. Work the line. Work the line. Communicate exactly what you want. Do not expect a developer to come up, like I said, to come up with creative solutions. Do not expect a designer or a developer to be able to design. Just like you would not expect a designer to be able to develop. Do not expect them to do each other's job. Technical, creative. And if you're finding you're talking to a developer and you're getting stressed with the communication, don't be afraid to ask them. You know, developers, from my experience, have an incredible heart to serve and to help, but in their head, it makes sense. They'll start talking about stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But what I've learned to do is to say, hey, I don't get it. You know, can you please explain it to me in another way? Can we screen share? Can you show me? And they're always more than willing to help. But they don't know, like, we speak different languages, right? So you need to stop them and say, hey, okay, I'm not clear what you're trying to explain to me. Can you please show me another way? Can we talk about it? Can we screen share? Can you send me a sample? Can we, you know, and they'll be happy to do it, happy to accommodate, because they don't remember, a lot of times they don't remember that you don't understand. So that's my best tip for communicating with developers is, but the biggest takeaway, if you hear nothing else, let them work in batches. Assign a bunch of things, let them get it done, check it, edits, check it, next batch. Do not interfere. Do not over communicate. Do not mix up the flow, because the wheels will fall off that bus, and it just gets frustrating and confusing and messy. And so yeah, capitalize on how they do think. Do it in a row. Do it in a row. Do it in a row. Be literal. Exactly what you want. Do not make them guess. And you'll see, it'll just work so much better. I'll talk to you in the next video.